Hello there, my name is Carol Robertson, and I'd like to welcome you to the International Academy of Energetic Health's core modules and extended training in the ACMOS method. Now, we're moving from a mentored course, which I've run for the past 3 or 4 years, to a do-it-yourself program, and ta-da, here you are, having a look at it, so you're very welcome here. By opening this up to do it yourself, we are taking all the strengths that we've gained over the last 3 years with our last 3 mentored classes. We've got an archive of videos of all the lives that we ran there, question and answer sessions, deep dives, topic specific information and really getting into the nuts and bolts of what we're doing. So lots of theory, but also lots of practical demonstrations and practical applications, seeing other students put things into action so that they can help you along your way. At the centerpiece of our course are the 4 core modules, and they take you through the ACMOS method and explain it in more detail than we ever did when we ran live classes, because we just simply didn't have the time. The gift that I guess lockdown gave us a few years ago was that it gave me the time to deep dive into all aspects of the training course and to rewrite it in a deeper and easier to understand way and more logical, progressive way than it had ever been written before. So the result of that is the course that is available to you today. And the actual core modules will cover most of the work, and then the material in the archives gives you the chance to widen any areas where you've got any questions, to find answers or solutions to things that from maybe thinking a little bit out of the box. And we also have a reference library of documents to support your learning. So we have the books that go along with the course. They're not course modules as such. It's not that one thing just copies another. They're quite differently written, but they do they complement each other really, really well. So you've got access to written information, the most in-depth written information on the ACMOS method that's available anywhere today. We've also got lots of protocols and handouts and things to help you to understand the theory a little bit more, and then to use the protocols at different stages of the course. So I've carefully designed this so that you can put it into action as you go. You start off with the antenna work, with measuring, with working out what it is exactly that is wrong with that person's energetics, so that you can start making some basic corrections with the antenna alone. So that's module 1. And we supplement that with our antenna training course, which is for lay people who are not really interested in learning the whole method, but you get access to it if you join this program. We'll throw that in for you. We then go into module 2, where we start going into the meridians of Chinese medicine, how we use those in the ACMOS method, and we start to give you protocols to work with. So you can immediately start rebalancing your energy at a deeper level than just looking at the drivers and the fields in level 1. We start looking more specifically at the acupuncture points and creating change in your energy system. And all you need to do that is access to the information and an antenna. You can open acupuncture points with an antenna, or guess what? We all came with 10 of these, and they're really useful for acupressure. So that takes us on to the second part of level 2, which is the environment section. It is about improving people's energy in the face of environmental challenges. And those are many and varied. And the top of the list is other people. People and groups of people and people's ideologies and philosophies and people's behavior and actions creates a lot of pressure on our energy system. So that's the first priority. But we also can balance you in the face of electrical types of issues, smog or pollution from wavelengths and devices. We're surrounded by satellites and phones and whatever, all pinging information around. And we interact with all that information, and for some people it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't challenge their energy in the same ways it does for someone who has a vulnerability in the historical information that makes them create a reaction to that signal in the environment. So in order to start balancing energy leaks due to environmental issues, which are just like safety valves that have blown to protect you at some stage, but which are still losing energy, we do need to have access to some of the kit. So essential oils and colors are the key parts for the energy leaks. So there's an energy leak or environmental protocol that you can follow. And if you're going to have those parts of the kit, it's probably thinking about a beginner's ACMOS kit at that stage, so that you then, when you open up into level 3, are able to really go for it. And that's where the real juiciness of the ACMOS method comes in, because it's talking about what remedies do we use for which types of conditions. Why did those conditions arrive in the first place? Are they historical? Are they inherited from your parents, or are they historical due to signals that affected mankind and programmed into our deep energy system and our unconscious mind from long, long ago in our distant past? Or are they emotional? Are they acquired things that have in fact impacted us throughout our lifetime? And if they are, can we erase them or soften those impacts of that sort of trauma-related things? So the emotional homeopathic range, we have a hormonal homeopathic range to deal with hormonal issues. We have a general homeopathic range for detoxifying when there is a toxicity issue in the body where it's reacting. And toxicity issues can also relate to rebalancing allergies. So we've got a whole range of hundreds of different options, and the protocols lead us to the option, and the course teaches you to understand what the energy body is saying and how it wants to use that option in order to change the energy immediately. So we're not looking at, okay, you learn all this stuff and in 6 months' time you'll be able to start changing energy. With each section of the course, Module 1, you'll be able to start changing the driving forces, connecting with the earth, connecting with more vitality and sunlight, purely with the antenna alone. Module 2, you'll be able to balance acupuncture points, to balance the sort of more superficial levels of disorder in the energy body, but really at a very deep level and in a way that you couldn't get to by trying to think it out. You could start working with energetic problems in the environment and sealing energy leaks to reclaim that energy back into the energy body to be used for health and well-being. And into core module 3, we're looking at what the remedies are for and how we apply them. That's really important to understand, because it's how your body speaks to you. So this becomes the beauty of the language of the ACMOS method. I teach it as a language rather than as a technique, although there is a bit of technique to it. But you'll see in the archives, you'll see other students having a go at various different aspects of the process, so that you can see how to do it as well as practice doing it yourself. When we get into level 4, we're then working through the main ACMOS protocol, right the way through from the very deepest energy body, divine blueprint, creating change there, not just reading energy, but changing it, rediverting it, sealing energy leaks, filling up holes, building up your resilience and your resources so that you have more energy going forwards. And you can use that for your own health and well-being, as I did in the beginning. That's why I had a cancer. I wanted to protect my health. The cancer was resolved, but my health was shot with some of the treatments that I'd had. And so I wanted to protect my own health, and that's exactly what I did. That was 25, well, no, not quite 25, 20 years ago now. And here I am, fitter and healthier at 60 than I was at 30. So it really was a profound change for me, and that's why I ended up teaching ACMOS and why I am now running online training and trying to get access to as many people to be able to work with their own health. So if you just want to work with your own health, family and friends, then you are welcome to study the core modules 1 to 4. If, however, you want to get insurance and become a practitioner, then at that stage you come in, you work a bit more directly with me, and we look at some case studies, we look at examinations of theory and also practical tests to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing, so that you then can get a certificate of proficiency which states that you're an ACMOS method practitioner. And with that certificate you can then add to your business offerings. You can add to the therapies that you offer if you're already a therapist, or you could set up in business from scratch if that's what you decided that you wanted to do. And you can start building your business with a really profound, really deep way of balancing people's energy to protect their health, to improve their health and improve their healthy outcomes. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then either pop in, an email through our contact page, and I can have a chat with you individually. Or if you just want to crack on, then when you sign up for the core modules through this funnel, you will get access to our antenna training course free of charge. You will get access to the 4 core modules, but not the 5th. That's an additional fee to work directly with me. We then also have access to the library of PDFs and documents that support your learning. So the ACMOS books are included with that. And then you also have access for 1 year. The other things are accessible for life. You have them for as long as you want them, but the archives are available for 1 year from the start of your training, so that you can start really digging in enhancing your learning experience. And then what after that? Is there any support? Well, yes, there is. We have an alumni program for people who've gone through training with me. We come together and we're going to be meeting once a month from next year, so that my focus will, instead of being on training people directly from beginners, now I'm going to let you work through that at your own pace, because the material is all there and there's some real gems in there. But I'm going to focus on enhancing the training of the people who have already done some training with me, who want to stay working with me because they think that I can teach them more, which is, wonderful feedback to have. They are all competent practitioners and able to do the job, but as with any subject, especially languages, the subtleties and the nuance you sometimes learn more and more the more you practice it and the further you dig in. So that's there as an option, but it's only there at the end of the program, so we're a bit ahead of ourselves here. So have a think about it. Have a look through the curriculum below, but it only shows you the curriculum for the core modules. You will get access to our full library and also to our archives of videos, there are more videos in there than there are in the core modules. And you see people asking me questions, and I've labeled the videos with topics so that you can find what you're looking for. There's lots of practical demonstrations in there, so it's a really exciting place to be at. I can't believe that we're quite ready to float, but here we are, ready to go, rocking and a rolling. So I look forward to seeing you inside, those of you who'd like to join me. And if you're just having to think about it, then, have a look at our YouTube channels. Join in one of our free healing sessions. Come along and see me in action. See what it is that you might be interested in learning. We have lots of material available to you to have a good old look through to understand what you're getting yourself into. Now, a caveat: in order to practice the ACMOS method in its entirety, you do need some bits and pieces of kit. So you're looking at around about 1,100 euros for kit pieces, but then once you have them for life. And there is a set of kit items that I've had put together specifically for my students. So if you join the program, we'll send you the link to that and you can get yourself going. But all you need to get started is an antenna, curiosity, a desire to learn, and a desire to improve your health and your well-being. A desire maybe to look at the world and at your health and the evolution of health through a whole different lens. And it's really exciting. It changed my life. I hope it can change yours too. All the best. Bye for now.